then the actual study of symmetries, which we call group theory and abstract algebra, is it's considered very advanced. It is not taught in high schools. Can you put in, I don't know, several sentences, what is the study of symmetry that you did?
Well, of course, the normal symmetry studies start at primary school. Children are looking at is a butterfly symmetric. It has symmetry axes. They are also looking whether a triangle is symmetric, and they find out that if it's isosceles triangle, then it has more symmetries than just the axis. There's also rotational symmetries. And when you get to more symmetries than just this rotational or reflective, you can go into tiling patterns. Like if I'm looking at your floor here, which is a normal parquet floor, I'm pretty sure I could find a symmetry. It probably is one of those wallpaper group symmetries. But then there are tilings that are not symmetric. So during the time I was giving the group theory course, the tiling of Keskuskatu was being developed. And I walked through this place once a week to my choir practice. And by this time, by professional expertise, I had developed an ability to see what the wallpaper patterns were. Like, okay, this is Z2 semi-direct product S3, or this is Z2 something something. And I could usually see it in my corner of eyes. This is what it is. And this one I walked past week after week, and I couldn't figure out what was the symmetry. But then I was extremely happy sometime later to read in the newspaper that it was a Penrose tiling.
Right, okay.
And yeah, and the Penrose tiling, I have also another anecdote. So I was in Oxford, and Penrose was in Oxford. And one day there was a man sitting on the floor doing a puzzle. And I was kind of puzzled. Why was there a man sitting on the floor in an office doing a puzzle? And I hadn't figured out at that point that he was Penrose.
Wow.
And it was only later that I realized that, this is Roger Penrose.
Wow.
He was probably doing a Penrose tiling in his office. So for these Penrose tilings, you can't find symmetries. They are going up to infinity, and there is no fixed point that you can rotate it or reflect it so that it looks exactly the same.
I believe there's one point.
About where you start.
Yeah. Yes, it's so-called quasi-symmetric. So you can find arbitrarily large patches which looks the same, but when you try to continue them, then the symmetry breaks always. Yeah. It was an amazing achievement in 20th century, even though people obviously been studying tilings for forever, for thousands of years. But this tiling was for the first time invented in the 50s by Roger Penrose. And we're still kind of active. He's very old, but he's very sharp, and it's a very interesting anecdote because I think it shows how mathematicians are playful.
Yeah.
How they are still until like he was probably 80 something when you saw him on the floor, maybe 70.
70s, yeah.
And so until the end of mathematicians' lives, they are like children, excited about the mathematical puzzles, and that's very...
Well, Brian Birch had retired ages ago, and he still came to seminars.